Oh, and we're in.
Hey, how's it going, brother? How
Just
are
like
ya?
that, we're fucking in. This took so long to organise, I feel.
Nah, you got it sussed, bro.
Oh, no, I don't mean this morning. I mean, you and I spoke about having a podcast
Oh, yeah.
maybe a year ago.
I know.
A year ago.
I know. I think 4 times now.
Yeah.
And, things have come up, but
Dude, you know what it is that the more interesting the person, the harder it is to get them on the pod.
thank you very much, bro.
Oh, dude, what makes an interesting person, right? Interesting lives.
Yeah.
Doing things that are like worth something, that have value in it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that typically goes with like, dude, I'd fully love to do this project with you, but I've got my next 4 months already booked in.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it, man. That's it. Yeah. And just, run your own business, man. It's pretty fucking hectic. Can I swear on this?
The first 10 minutes on YouTube, they tend to like slow it down, the amount of people that it blows out to, but I think the 14 people that listen to the podcast don't care.
It can only grow, brother. It can only grow.
Dude, I think, and also the one rule about podcasting is usually don't break the fourth wall, don't talk about the podcast, but for the sake of this conversation, I think that these podcasts aren't for now.
Yeah.
They're like in 10 years' time when, I mean, especially like I'm planning on having kids and stuff. It's like this is a whole diary that I get to give to those kids and to my future self. Where it's like, remember,
That's
you
it,
know, I was
man.
telling you just before a bit about the financial situation at the moment. It's like, remember when you were pushing pennies together to buy coffee?
Oh, yeah, bro.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Dude. And also, I feel like all the good stories of like, you know, entrepreneurship and people in success and blah, blah, they always said the best time was when they were struggling.
Yeah. Oh, it makes you stronger, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill you. It makes you stronger, man. And
We must be going to be fucking Iron Men one day
I
then.
don't know. I think we're walking a tightrope at the moment.
Yeah, no
If I
shit.
fucking make it or not. But, yeah. No, like you said, man. Yeah, character's everything, man. You got a good character. All that kind of stuff, man. I think that's what makes, people interesting.
I think the foundation that people bring as far as character is concerned is like, I don't know about you. You get people tell you that like it doesn't matter what you would have done, you would have been good at it.
I don't know, bro. I'm a strong believer in, like, shit happens, man. Like, and it's the way you make it. Like, yeah, it's good luck and bad luck, but I think it's just how you make it out at the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah.
I think there's like this, we all start as a big block of cement and then like everything, every situation, every like fork in the road determines like how much of that cement or stone gets chipped off to reveal the thing underneath. And sometimes the fork in the road takes off half of the stone when it was meant to take off a little chunk, and that's kind of like trauma in a way.
Yep.
But then if you navigate and learn from all those other little chips that came off a bit at a time, you start to get good at only chipping off the right amount.
That's it, bro.
You know?
That's it, man. Yeah, nah. That's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it.
There's so many metaphors of bloody
bro.
character building. It's nuts.
Oh, there is.
I feel like what small business does as well, you know, small business until it grows into small business, until it grows into large business, is like it adds so many like layers and dimensions,
It does.
you know?
It does, man. It really does, man. Like you said, you know, the downfalls and all that kind of stuff makes who you are and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. All I know is life is hard, man. It's not easy. It's not made to be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, up until like 150 years ago, no one had had a hot shower.
Yeah.
Life's actually real fucking easy, with just the perception of, I'm not saying that to contradict what you said.
Yeah.
It's more the like, I think the perception of what we have to deal with is always like, you know, every generation thinks that their generation is going to see the return of Jesus or the world end.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's this thing where it's like life is meant to be kind of crappy.
Yeah.
One way or another, you know? Like
man.
a good relationship is meant to be difficult.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the difficulty is what builds the fiber of it.
Exactly, man. It's what
Right.
builds the strength.
Correct.
That's it, man.
So then you go, well, it's actually my perception of the difficulty or the challenge that makes who I am, like builds that character, and also determines what sort of life I'm going to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I'm just, woe is me, like life sucks, like fucking, what are we doing? That's exactly what your life is. That's what the universe is hearing from you as well. Like,
That's it,
life's
man.
hard, have more challenges. Like, brother, I'm asking God for more
That's
challenges.
it, man. That's where like, come at me.
Yeah.
Make the shit happen.
Yeah, like honestly, build character. Let's
it,
go.
man.
I'm ready. Give me the
it,
hill.
bro.
I want to ride up it, you know?
That's it, man. That's it.
But tell me, I know very vaguely the story, but like, owys, where did that come from?
So
Actually, we should probably footnote with, you're Dave from owys.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm Dave from owys. How you going?
Yeah. The man.
Yeah, but yeah. So it started with Mum going just to the markets, man. Like probably 30 years ago, man. You know, Hands Oval and all that kind of stuff down south, and she's dragged me along and. Fuck, bro, I hated plants back then. Like 4 o'clock, wake up in the morning, drive down to Vass and all that.
What are we doing?
Yeah, bro, like 10 years old, man. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I never thought I'd be doing something like this, but I don't know. I'm going to be telling stories and that. So when I was younger, unfortunately, I got addicted to meth. Messed up my whole life. My parents through hell and all that, man.
Mm.
So
what age did that start for you?
about 17, 18, man.
Rough.
Yeah, to about 23, 24.
Mm.
So, yeah, messed up my life pretty bad. Woke up one day, I was just like, what the fuck you doing, man? What are you doing?
Mm.
And I moved up north to work on the stations and all that to clean myself up. Was up there for about 4 years. Started suffering really bad from migraines, which I think was just from having too much fun when I was younger.
Yeah.
And come back down here and just was lost for about a year. Didn't know what to do, just helped Mum at the markets and all that kind of stuff. And then, I don't know, just clicked onto plants and started collecting all like the cool stuff. And then probably, 26, I was like, hey, Mum, Dad, you don't mind if I start a nursery here? And
Wild.
that's how it happened, bro. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so like you said, yeah, a lot of bad shit happens, but yet it builds you.
Yeah, there's something, there's some intrinsic values of drug use, and not saying that this is your situation, but if you get into, how do I word this? You know, like if you understand the like business of the drug world,
Yeah.
it's crazy how much it correlates to the normal business
Normal world,
world.
bro. It's crazy, man.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's funny how that all works out, man, because it's like pretty much, you know, there's the illegal side and then you got the business side, and it's pretty much, it's still a dog-eat-dog world, man.
100%.
Like,
100%.
yeah, if you're not on top, you're on the bottom, man. So,
And this is, I mean, we literally were talking about this just before we went live. The, like, having customers, like, the value and quality of the customers. The people who are just like, oh, your service or your product is right here in front of me. Let me return that by fucking paying you.
Yeah.
Compared to the dude who's like, oh, there's the product and services all done. Can I pay you in March? And you're like, brother, what are you talking about? You know? And it's like completely correlates.
it's true, man.
It's bizarre.
It's true, bro.
You know? And I don't want either of us to get in sort of any recorded trouble, because all of this is for entertainment purposes, completely made up and just a narrative for the sake of entertainment.
That's it, man. And that's it. Like, everyone's got a past, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's, you know, I come out of it, so,
Yep.
you know, there's a lot of bad people out there that turn good, man, so.
Oh, 100%.
One thing I'm a strong believer is don't judge an addict or addiction until you've been through it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also let he without sin cast the first stone, you know, like, let's see you get off sugar, baby.
Yeah.
Let's see you get off your phone.
That's it, man.
You want to talk about addiction?
That's
like,
it.
Everyone's on the bad shit. No one wants to admit
man.
it, you know?
Technology and all that stuff, bro. You know, everyone's addicted to something, man. Just depends how bad it is.
Dude, you know what's really, like, enlightening about the podcast in my eyes? I love having conversations with people where you look at each other in the eye for like an hour, because find me another situation where you do that.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Like in today's, like right now, end of 2024, we're in December 2024, find me a situation where someone sits down and fucking talks to you.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like, it's all good. Your notifications will be there. Like, it's fine.
It is, man. Yeah.
You know? It's like that to me, like, sure, I'm not going to downplay the severity of addiction to, you know, illegal substances, but talk about the shit that everyone's got on tap.
Yeah.
You know?
Technology, bro. Technology's fucking huge.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And it's like weaponized against us now, you know?
That's it, man.
I feel like the amount of people that you would have this as well, like, you know, they talk about, I'm going to start a business, I've got this idea, I've got this thing that I make or whatever, and they have like analysis paralysis because they're seeing everyone either try it, win, come up with a better idea or something on their phone, so they just don't do it.
Yeah. That's it.
What?
Yeah. You still got to give it a shot, man. Like,
Also, whatever it is, you know, like, I think the thing that I get the most kind of, I was going to say withdrawn or upset. It's not that. The thing that I find now is like, now I have more knowledge about not how easy it is, but like how available opportunity is. I start thinking like, oh, I wouldn't mind a second life where I try pottery. I wouldn't mind a second life where I just buy and sell boats.
Yeah.
Like you can literally do fucking anything.
You can, man.
If you just stay at it long enough.
That's it, man.
That's the formula.
Yeah. Like, I'm a strong believer passion is huge, man. Like, you can have certificates and all on a bit of paper, but you can't teach passion, man. Passion is, like, strong.
Do you find, would you consider yourself a passionate man?
Depends what with, bro. Like, plants and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, friends, all that kind of stuff, man. Yeah, for sure, bro.
Do you find that passion was something that you had to find in yourself, or you had to kind of, like, you had to nurture it, or is it something that's always been there?
I've always, even when I was younger, man, I was always like messing around, like building terrariums and all that kind of stuff. Always with plants and all that.
Yeah.
I think just the fact, I just love nature, man. Like even with the rocks and all that stuff, you know, like how can you hold something in your hands that's millions of years old, you know? It's
And
like,
not be blown away.
It's like really cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, this place is unbelievable. The world is fascinating.
So let's rewind a little bit. Time on the stations. What did that include? What'd you do?
So it was mainly like earth moving and all that kind of stuff, working excavators and all that kind of stuff, doing like new roads, cleaning out culverts and all that, like camping in the bush for 6 weeks and all that, man.
Yep.
Like getting off the stuff, it was pretty hectic the first 2 months, but I think just up there, you know, like 45 degrees and like you sweat the shit out.
Yeah.
So it was good, man. It was good. I needed it. I needed to find myself.
Did you do it vocationally?
No, I just grabbed my stuff and just left, bro. I was sick of the people that I was around and just, you know, like I said, man, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and I just was not happy.
Takes a lot of courage to pull yourself out of a shitty environment.
I had to, bro, and like, you know, mum and dad tried to save me a few times, but I just didn't want to stop. And then one day I was just like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Just destroying my life.
Do you remember the moment? Was it waking up, or was it in the middle of a situation?
Waking up, bro.
Yeah.
Waking up, man, and just be like, what am I doing? This is not me. And just the stresses of it and all that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I do not miss it. Like, I know running a small business is stressful, but you know, there's kind of light at the end of the table. With that stuff, it's just downhill.
I think if you go back far enough, like in the human experience, like you know, you be on the grassy knoll, you're hanging out, you got your little community, you hear the twig snap, and you're like, oh, that might be a fill-in aggressive animal X that's coming to kill us. That's why you have anxiety. Like anxiety is like a program, it's like a part of the program that saves you from danger.
That's it.
Right? And I think also, we spoke about it, like life is kind of meant to be hard. There's meant to be this sort of struggle. But I think when the struggle is for nothing, or when you boil it down, you're like, my whole struggle is to get high again. It's like, that doesn't serve me.
It's not, man. It's a short-term thing.
Yeah.
It's a really short-term thing.
So to translate that stress into like, oh, fuck, this guy wants to pay me in March. It's like, yeah, when I get paid, I get paid.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and if I can last between now and then, actually, if I can sort the problems that I was going to sort with that money, with other source of money, when that comes in, it's almost for free.
And bro, and that's like, that's what makes you stronger, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. I was stressed out about it, but then I'll just do more landscaping, man. Like, it's there. And that's the thing these days, man. Like, you know, I know like a lot of people don't have money, but there's people with money that want that kind of stuff done. So you just got to, like I said, man, just search for it, put your name out there.
Yeah, and also, like, the crazy thing about money I've found is the people who have it really want to spend it on things that are valuable.
Yeah.
You know, and I know because fully, you know, faking it till I make it, you could call it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting a bizarre Christmas gift for Riz, right?
Yeah.
And it's a fucking handmade, very cool thing that takes a lot of energy and a lot of time and is hopefully going to last forever. And it's way too expensive, right? And I consider myself to be a millionaire. I'm wealthy. You know, in my soul, I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy because I'm surrounded by love and the people that I want to be surrounded by.
That's it, man.
Great friends, great business, great future potential. We're going to have kids next year. It's all happening, right? So then when this dude's like, it's going to cost this much, not even a hesitation. Of course. you want cash or transfer? How does it work for you? You know, because as considering myself as a wealthy person, while I might not have that money in the bank right now, I bet on my future earning potential. And with that future earning potential, with that wealth, I want the best shit possible.
Yeah.
I don't want Coles meat. I want grass-fed organic.
That's it. Good old farmers market.
Yeah.
They should be paying us for this.
Brother. Bleep that until we get the fucking money, you know? But yeah, I think we're both in situations where we offer services and products that people with money would want to pay for, you know?
Yeah. And how can I put this? I think if you show people that you're keen, they'll be keen on you too, man. Like if you show excitement in doing their job, it shows a lot, man. Like if you're just like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, passion.
Yeah.
Passion, man. Like it shows. It shows, bro.
Yeah, passion is not contagious. It is contagious. It's more, what would you call it? Like passion is attractive.
Yeah.
You know?
It is, man. It opens doors.
That's how you see like the 10 dating a 4 and you're like, how does she see that in him? He's either got a big dick or a great character.
Really
and brother, if you got both, make it work.
Look out.
I'm fucking everyone. That's it, But yeah, it is interesting, like, and that's why now I go back to thinking like, in a second life I might want to do pottery or something. It's like literally as long as you can get excited about it. And I feel like half of life is just figuring out like what gets you excited.
Oh yeah, man.
You know?
It is.
My go-to analogy or metaphor for the podcast is doing wheelies. Yeah. If I could make money doing wheelies, brother, I would be a millionaire.
Oh, yeah, bro.
It's
sure.
ridiculous because I love doing it.
Yeah.
You know? And there's sometimes, you know, you're having a bad day and it's like, it's all good. Even though it's windy or even though it's this or that, I'm getting the bike out. I'm going to go for a ride. And it will be 2 minutes in and I'm pulling a wheelie down a street with no one on it. So no one's even watching. I'm like, how lucky am I that by 32 I found this and realized I like doing it?
That's it, man.
Nuts.
That's it, bro. It is, man.
You know, and how many people do you know that don't find that?
Heaps, bro. There's heaps, man. There's heaps of people lost in life.
And surrounded by like abundant opportunity.
Yeah.
And don't quite know, like, and this is a thing, like analysis paralysis again, they don't even pull on the straws because they can swipe or something.
Yeah, that's it. But also, like, people around you, man. If you have good people around you, you want to be better.
Yeah.
You want to grow.
100%.
If you're just stuck with people that, you know, sit at home, do nothing, you'll do the same, man.
Yeah.
It's just like common life for you. But if you get good people like yourself and all that kind of stuff that actually want to do something and be someone, I think, shit, man, that's all you need, man. You just need good people around you.
Yeah.
Support.
That's that Dan Pena quote, show me your 5 friends and I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts. Although he says it with a really aggressive Scottish accent. It kind of makes it cooler, you know? Like, dude might be 4 foot tall, but he slaps, you know?
That's it, man.
I live in a fucking castle because I'm fucking rich. Do you know that Dan Pena character? Yeah. There's, what was it? It's like, you know, he's talking about Americans. He goes, you know, over in Russia, they think we're fucking weak. They think we're fucking pussies. You know why? Because we are. We're all cunts. Just the way he says it, you're like, yeah, I agree with you, you know? I don't even know what you're saying. I'm just here for the ride.
That's exactly it, eh?
But yeah, so you've gone from dark spot, got yourself out of that dark spot. You've done 4 years on the stations, and then you come home.
Yeah. Yep. And then, just got right into plants, man.
Yeah.
Right into plants. And not only that, like, Mum being, so I'm half Thai, half Australian. And Mum being Asian, and like, you know, there's a lot of good people, but when Mum was selling plants, just people being racist, man, is huge. Like talking down to her and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't really like that. So that's why I started getting more involved in it, and then just led on from that, man, you know. So
I mean, obviously you've got a pretty wide, you've got an interesting selection of plants actually, because I feel like a lot of plants I see here, you don't see at other nurseries, and a lot of the plants that you do see regularly at other nurseries, you don't have here. Yeah. Obviously, really great strategic move.
We're growers, man. So we grow a lot ourselves, man. It's the only way to be, man.
Yep.
Like you can buy and sell and all that stuff, but then you're losing that kind of profit margin that you can actually do from growing your own. But like, don't get me wrong, shit. it's taken like 6 years to even get some of our own stock, like some of the cactus, you know.
Yep.
6 years old and all that kind of stuff, you know, and then, you know, they're like tennis ball size.
Yeah, true, because obviously the growing rate is so...
That's it, man. And that's why we do like tropicals and all that kind of stuff, because they're faster growing and all that. So it's like, you know, they're like the bread and butter, while our cactus are the landscape and all collectors and all that stuff. So,
Yep.
but yeah.
Interesting. So your I mean, how many plants would you be growing, like starting from, how many new like life plants are you bringing in each year? Like how many plants are you growing from seed or growing from cuttings every year, would you say, at the moment? Obviously that number's gone up and up and up.
Bro, like thousands, man.
Yeah?
Thousands, bro. Some seed pods like the aloes and all that, they have like 50 seeds in a seed pod, and there's probably about 50 seed pods on a flower.
Wow.
Yeah. Like we do selectively grow. Things don't look cool, we chuck them out.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just knuckling down to what's the good stuff. We do a lot of hybrids and all that. Benjo, JC, I call him JC because he looks like Jesus Christ with his poncho on.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, bro. He spreads the water, that mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he grows a lot of cactus as well. So it's kind of good working with your best mate because, it's a laugh as well, man.
Yeah.
You know? And it's back to that thing about surrounding yourself by good people that push you.
Mm.
So we're a good crew together, man. I remember the first time I met him, we were just selling plants on the weekend and all this stuff. I could see him loving his plants and all that. Oh, young man. I'll just send you the photo of me and him in the hothouse, bro. I look so Asian, bro.
Yeah.
Like full Asian. He looks like Jesus Christ, man. That's just come out of the cave or something.
Just a sweaty Jesus Christ.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. But yeah, and just one day I was like, because of my past, I like to try and make like I'm making up for my past. So people that I see that, you know, like something that can't afford it, I'll just hook them up, you know.
Yeah. And
there was this plant, black tear white ghost in this pot. Then I was like, yeah, bro, grab that, just pull it out. And the prick literally grabbed it, ripped the roots off it, pulled it straight out of the pot. But I meant just like pull the pot out. You can have the kind of thing. And I was like, shit, this is going to work for me one day, but I'm just going to be very clear with instructions.
Yeah.
And kicked off from there, bro.
Unreal.
Yeah, man, just ripped it off, broke all the fucking roots off it, man. I was just like...
You can have that, but you can also have the one next to it.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Bother.
Wants to be on.
Yeah. Big guard dog.
Yeah, it's funny, actually, buddy. I've known Ben for... wow. So much longer than I thought, actually, like 14 years.
Yeah, he's been telling me, eh?
Yeah, 14 years.
Crazy. It's funny you guys just lived down the road for, or used
to.
Yeah,
used to live for like fucking 2 years, lived around the corner from each other and never caught up.
Yeah.
Saw him literally like a dozen times here, like, we got it, and then moved out of that house like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But yeah, no, Ben for ages. Had a very strong dislike him at the start because we shared a girlfriend. Not at the same time. Hey, that I know
Good
of.
old 6230.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's like, I'm not going to give away too much on the pod,
Yeah,
actually.
I've heard the stories, so don't worry.
Brother, shut the fuck up. But yeah, it is interesting. I in my kind of pathway for the business, like the first thing I did was employed Riz. And that was always like, the sooner we can do that, the better. Because we live the whole normal life, you know. Actually, how's this for you? I got a yarn. You know, most people, and this is completely unrelated, but we'll tie it in.
Yeah.
Do the old Donald Trump where you just keep linking it to other stories and other stories. But yeah, you go like meet someone, hang out with them, spend every fucking moment you can with them. You know, you're having fun, you're going on adventures, you like almost get this like 6-week cloud of just like intense, oxytocin and staying up late to watch movies that you don't give a fuck about just because it's with this person.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Awesome. You know, that honeymoon period, the sex is unreal, the food tastes better, the bloody days are brighter. And then eventually you go like, oh, fuck, I've got to I've got a whole life that I forgot about, you know, like I got to catch up with my dad for coffee and I've got to go back to work at some point. And, you know, everyone goes through this at least once. I hope everyone goes through this at least once because it's one of those beautiful things in life, especially when you're like anywhere between like 15 and 25. It just hits so damn hard, you know?
Yeah.
And then you go back to normal life, you know, and you go back to working 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, whatever it might be. And, you know, 6 months later, the sex has slowed down by about, I don't know, anywhere between 10 and 60%, depending on both of you and as individuals. And then you get to about a year later and you're just back to where you started, but now you live with this person, you know?
Yeah.
And depending on how good you are at having conversations and depending on how aware you are of the potential future that you're building for yourself with this person, you are, as I said, essentially a normal person again. You know, and maybe like, let's say 18 months in, the sex is now, you know, and I'm only saying sex because it is like the one act of real physical intimacy where you can replicate safety, you can replicate connection, and you can replicate that real kind of bond. And I say replicate because it is still on the table as to whether you are connecting or whether you feel like you're connecting, but you're actually not, right? It takes a huge amount of awareness and like real work to be able to connect in that moment and also outside of that moment. When it's Wednesday afternoon and you're having a fight about the dishes or something, you know, like, are we connecting or are we arguing right now? Because if we're connecting, at the end of this, we have a resolution. If we're arguing at the end of this, we both think each other's still wrong.
That's it.
Right? So the thing that blows my mind is that some people just keep living that life and they keep going down that path and their partner keeps going down that path, you know, and instead of going down that path together, we keep doing this. And then 30 years later, kids, life, mortgage, fights, affairs.
That's it.
What the fuck went wrong? Well, actually, you never replicated that shit at the start. Remember that 6 weeks of bliss? You never actually just gave yourself a moment to like sit back after 6 months and a year and 2 years and 3 years and 5 years to go like, hey, are we friends?
Yeah.
Do we like each other?
Yeah.
Like, do we make each other laugh?
Yeah.
Are we whipping each other with the towel? And do we know what pisses each other off? And do we know what makes each other happy? Do we know what each other's love language is? I hate that bullshit, but I hate the fact that it's overdone, the love language stuff. Like, most people don't even know what love is. Anyway, so my thing was, all right, we got about, I don't know, 2 years in, and I was like, the bit at the start. And like, without making myself sound like a how are ya, I've had, I don't know, 2, 3 significant relationships before Riz. And I was like, there's something about that bit at the start. It's like it's a fleeting cheat code.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a fleeting cheat code. And I want to know, can we replicate it? Is that actually real? Or is it just like I don't have any good examples of relationships that, you know, 20, 30, 40 years on, they're still having fun?
Yeah.
And I remember when I had that thought, I was like, okay, do I actually know anyone? There was this one couple that I remember from the coffee van, and those guys were 18 in their eyes, bro, but they were 50 in their bodies, you know? And you could tell they had this chemistry, and they had been together since they were teenagers. I'm like, well, what's up? It's possible. All I need is one. It's possible, right? So I remember saying to Riz, like, at this point, I'm driving trucks. I'm away for 12 hours at a time. I'm doing day shift. I'm doing night shift. You know, I find the devil talking to me in the middle of the night, you know? Yep. And then I start going like, oh, if I'm not careful, that thing happens again where we're just 2 years in and this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, let's save our money and let's go traveling. Because then I get to figure out if we spend all that time together again, does it reignite or what happens? Yeah. And long story short, we did that. And then the real fucking plot twist in my story was the day we were meant to leave was the day that COVID lockdowns came into play. So we had no rental. We had a car and a caravan. We had 20 grand each. We had nowhere to go. We end up groundskeeping this beautiful 5-acre block that backs onto the Serpentine River just in Mandurah.
Yeah.
And we end up living there for like 18 months.
Yeah, wow.
Nuts, right? 18 months? Might have been 12 months. Regardless, we're there for long enough to know, do I like this person? Van's 30 years old, doesn't have a bathroom. You know, you can't fart at one end without the other person fucking smelling at the other end.
Yeah.
Like, for real, I'm back to like, I'm living in a room with this person. And then I want to say 10 minutes into the whole experience, we get Louis. right? And the one thing, like, let's just fucking come up with the, what do you call it? Starts with S, describes what you're wrapping. The summary of the situation was, I fully do like this person.
Yeah.
I really fucking like this person. I love this person.
Yeah.
We have our little inside jokes. Yeah, we tiff about this and that, but we connect when we argue.
It is, bro. That's what relationships are all about.
Right?
Man.
Right? And then I realized that there's this connection between having a normal life and having an abnormal life that really helps that thing. Now, I prioritize having a really meaningful relationship. You know, I'm an only child. I moved around 100 times before I was 10 years old. I changed towns and schools so many times. I'm not even from this state. You know what I mean? Like, I am by myself, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that if I'm going to be with someone, that's got to be the one.
The right person.
And I'm not saying there's the one out there for everyone. I'm saying this is the one that I chose to put enough energy into to make this thing, man. We've got the one.
That's it.
Right? And then we ran out of money. You know, and we didn't run out of money. I got halfway through mine, she got halfway through hers, and we're like looking at each other one day like, well, sometime in the near future, we can't just get up and get coffee and fuck around. You know, this money's going to dry up and we're going to have to go back to this normal life. And now the world's completely fucked.
Yeah. Yep.
Now we got to get a bloody, how are ya? And, you know, go back to work. I hate that.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to figure out business. I'm going to make money online, selling stocks. I did OnlyFans. I went for it. Yeah. I went for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I fucking went for it. And I was not good at any one thing, but I got better a little bit at a time at whatever I did.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't set out 4 years ago with the intention to be a uniform supply and decorator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was not the intention. But I just took the next step, whatever that was, every time. And unfortunately, at the start, Riz was like, well, not unfortunately, it's part of the story, so I'm grateful for it. But she was like, all right, I'm going to do what I know how to do, which is go back to her old job.
Yeah.
And it was great paying. She could work like extremely casually and bring enough money to keep the boat afloat.
Yeah.
Now, I ran out of money. Completely zero, negative. And I remember the conversation clear as day in the caravan, like, Riz, I'm out. I need you to support me. All of my money, I'm going to put back into the business. I need you to keep me fed, watered, and in the sun. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Right? We ended up getting we got out of there, and in the middle of COVID, we got a private rental up the road from Ben.
Yeah.
And we ended up like in this situation where I literally lived like that for at least a year. She paid all the rent. She paid all the shopping. I paid all the bills because it's kind of a business expense. But every dollar I made was back into the business, you know, and like, you know how it is. You make $1, you spend $1.20.
That's it.
And then you get tax on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? You know, and that's literally what it was. So in my mind, I was like, well, this is real clear. I have this like energy bar, you know, like imagine GTA. I have this energy bar that the longer she stays at work, our connection gets lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And if that gets to here, the whole thing could fucking implode. So I had to employ her. See, I've looped it back around. I had to employ her as soon as possible. Right? So it started as just like part-time where it's like, cool, she's working for me like Monday and Wednesday and Thursday and sometimes Saturday and sometimes this. And we're also still trying to like maintain our relationship rules. No work after 5 p.m. No talk about work on the weekends. You know, all the fun shit that you want to do as a bloke, you like just don't want to stop. She's like, brother, what are you doing? Let's live. You know?
That's it.
And now we're in this situation where I'm fortunate enough that I can employ her, pay her a wage. I mean, now she's even covered by fucking workers' comp and pay her super and this and that. It's like we're now like we're at a point now where we said at the beginning of the conversation, like the struggle's the best part, right? Like I'm at a point now where even if I plateaued here for the rest of my life, I fucking made it.
Yeah.
Because we hang out together every day. We fuck around, we joke, we this, we that, you know, and then little times like this where she gets bloody 2-3 hours to herself at home, chilling with Louie in a big, beautiful house that this business has allowed us to be, to somehow get.
That's it, man.
You know?
That's it. You got to keep pushing.
And dude, this is a thing. Like if we're 4 years in and this is the results we're getting, what's 10 years look like?
That's exactly it, bro.
What does 20 years look like?
That's exactly it, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Like the world's your oyster, man.
It is. It is. And I think that, like the whole sort of important part of that is like, the question outside of what we're talking about right now is how many people don't even consider that in their relationship? How many people don't remember that 6 weeks? You know, how many people don't remember that sex? Like, how can you forget that?
That's it, man.
And then, like, why do people not ask themselves how come that doesn't happen anymore?
I think just a lot of people think negatively, man.
I think a lot of people don't think.
Yeah, they just don't take the time to like reminisce and all that kind of stuff on their past and how things are. So, yeah, man, it's a pretty good story that you had, like how it all come together. She always had your back and all that. Now you got her back, so that's good, man. That's strength.
And dude,
strength, bro.
When homeboy is like, "Here's how much his Christmas gift is going to be," I'm like, "Double it."
Yeah,
it's worth it. Please don't double it.
It sounded good, but
if he had to come back at double it, it's like, well, if that's what it costs, that's what it costs.
I love this person, so
yeah, it doesn't matter, you know.
Matter, bro.
And she didn't hesitate when I'm like, "Now's the time. If you're going to support me, now is it." She's like, "Oh, sweet. All right. Well, how? Where do I sign? How do I start?"
Good, man.
You know,
that's really good.
And it's cool because, I mean, bro, I feel like I appreciate what she did in that moment. Do you know how hard it is as a like grown man to ask your lady, who is, I think she's what's 9 take 2? She's 7 years younger than me, to fucking support me? Like, that sucks.
But that means that she's seen something in you, bro.
Yeah, I hope so.
Obviously, bro.
Yeah, 30-year-old caravan and pipe dreams, baby.
Bro, that's what. Look at you now, bro. She stuck around. It's rewarding, man.
We're starting to get somewhere.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the cyclone.
Fuck.
Because I feel like there'll be a handful of people that will listen or watch this just to hear your perspective on what happened.
Yeah, man. Well, shit. So it was July, probably about start of the month, about 10:30 at night. And I was looking out the window, taking photos of lightning and all that kind of stuff, you know, as you do. And then next thing, it just went all quiet, and I started hearing this like roar. Like it was unbelievable, man. Like that bit where you actually get like what the fuck is that, man? You know. And then next thing, I just started seeing like things like flying past the window and all that kind of stuff. So I like grabbed me and my dog were on the floor. And as it hit, man, like just like shook the shit out of my flat, all this kind of stuff hitting the roof, ripped tin off the roof, and just went straight through the middle of the nursery. Destroyed everything, man. Like even the azalea and like sucked the garage door off and just folded it in half, man.
Hectic.
Like just, and it wasn't even that long, man, like 10 seconds, bro.
Shit, pull that mic right up to your face.
10 seconds, man. And it was just, it just destroyed everything. Looked back outside. Everything was on the ground. Cactuses snapped and all that. And because it was just too windy and rainy, I couldn't really go check the devastation.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, went outside and it was just, 10 years of work was just gone. It was gone, man. Like all the hot houses were just, like, it didn't take away, just the pressure and all that just squashed them.
Yeah.
Like bent scaffold tubing, snap star pickets, bent purlings, I don't really want to go through that again. That was hectic, man.
Yeah.
And just the amount of plants that we lost. But not only that, because it was during winter and all that, because we grow a lot of cactus and tropical plants, they need protection.
Yeah.
Because that protection was gone, just started losing plants.
So it's also the shadow of the event.
Yeah, man. It's just, just kept them going down the hill there, and then started getting hot, stuff getting burnt. So, it's been a struggle. Like, we probably won't be back to where we were before, probably about a year.
Yeah.
And get all our stock back there. But honestly, man, we probably wouldn't be here without the community support, bro. Because mum and dad, they're already just like, well, there goes all that. Because, like you said, any dollar you make, you put $1.20 in.
Yeah.
So everything we made just went into the business. And to see all that happen, it was devastating, man.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah, of course.
Because this is what I want to do. I love what I do. I love working with the people. And I started this business more to share my passion.
Yeah.
Like money's good, money makes the world go around, but it's something I'm really passionate about, and you can teach people that.
Yeah.
And to see it in people's eyes and all, it's something that you taught them. It's huge, bro. It's a really good feeling.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I said, man, it's just that little bit me making up for my past. I know, lots of people don't care, but I do.
Yeah.
And it just makes me feel better inside. So yeah, but yeah, the tornado, yeah, man, it just flattened everything, man.
So as a percentage, what do you think was salvageable after the fact? Like out of everything that you had, how much was kind of still sellable, I guess?
Oh, there's still a bit, man, but like I said, most of our real good stuff just got damaged, man. You just have to grow it again.
Yeah.
Grow it again, man, or try and find it again. So
yeah.
And that's the thing, like the first 4 years of starting this business, it was just a hunt because I wanted to be different. I wanted to be different to Bunnings, so he stood out.
Yeah.
So I just collected all the stuff you just don't see. Like, driving to Geraldton, Perth, all this kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking for that buddy.
Just that one plant, man. Yeah, that one plant.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, man, yeah, to stand out, you got to be different. You have to be different. You have to be like, oh, what's this happening? You got to be like a wow factor.
Yeah.
You got to make people not just look at your page, just maybe like, oh, I got to check this out.
Yeah.
So that's what I set out to do, and it's paying off, man.
What do you think is I don't want to say the like the most different thing about it. It's like what separates you from a normal nursery, do you think, outside of having those different plants?
So what I wanted to do it kind of like a boutique kind of nursery. So instead of just lines and lines of plants set up to give people an idea of how you can do things, because plants are tough, man. They can survive. Well, look how long they survived without us and all that kind of stuff. They just thrived and all this. And I think if you give them the right time to harden up and all that kind of stuff, they will survive like full sun. Mm-hmm. The things you can put together is unbelievable. You see things where, oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. If you know the plant, you can do whatever the fuck you want, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like I remember people saying, oh, you can't put cactus in terrariums and all that kind of stuff. You can't put lithops inside. There's lithops right there growing inside, man. It's been here for like over a year.
Yeah.
I just like, when anyone says, oh, you can't do that, I'm just like, fucking watch me.
Yeah.
Watch me. And if I fail, I admit to it. But so far, so good.
Yeah. So do you feel you have, on an individual level, connection to your plants as well?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I got my private collection and all that I just won't sell.
Yeah.
Like I've got big plants out in the garden that are more sentimental to me, and I've been offered big dollars for them, but I just don't sell them because you just can't find them again.
Yeah.
Like there's a massive aloe dichotomer out there some guy offered me $6,000 for.
Wow.
I'll just never be able to get another one, man. Like you're paying for years. You're paying for years. Yeah,
it's funny. Do you remember that? I don't know what it's called. That fucking hell army spiky plant.
Crown of Thorns.
I did not want to. I didn't like. Riz is like, it's you can't put it anywhere. Bloody, if you touch it, it gives you that weird reaction.
Yeah.
It's just the most inconvenient, armed out spiky plant. You know what I mean? And I was like, the only way I would feel good about this is giving it to you guys, because at least I know, like, even if you're going to take it and sell it, at least it's kind of taken this avenue of still being appreciated.
Yeah.
It's
in the garden, bro.
Even when I brought it in, I think homegirl, I'm not sure of her name, but I gave it to her, and even she was like, oh, this is kind of, I'm like, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It is, man.
And it's weird because, like, obviously, break it down, you love your parents, I love Larissa, I love my dog, and then it's like having this moment where you're like, do I fucking love my plants? Like, is that where I'm at in my existence as a human, that I have this actual connection to these plants?
Yeah.
Like I'm cutting all my shrubs back at the moment. I'm like, oh, some of them have got like 100 branches that I've got to cut, and I'm like, I'm sorry on every single one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like
come back inside crying.
Oh, dude. And it's so weird to, I think, be at that point of being a human where you can be that empathetic towards something. You're like, I appreciate that while it doesn't have a heartbeat, this is still life.
That's it, man. That's it.
Like I put this thing in a soil hoping that it feeds well. I water it hoping that I'm giving it enough nutrients to live. And then when I have to do these things like cut it or pull it out or heaven forbid kill it and get rid of it, I don't even like taking snails out of my garden.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yeah. I fully understand what you mean, man.
Yeah.
I fully understand.
Amazing. And I love it every time I come here to see you guys. It literally feels like you step into this like different world.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have like so many sort of, what would you call them? Like, you know,
like vantage points, like, you know, things that attract people.
Yeah. It's kind of like going into different suburbs on the GTA map. You're like, oh, what's
that's
here?
It. Yeah, that's
you know?
it, man.
It's very cool.
But yeah, like I said, man, that's why I wanted to set it up. And so this is the thing about with the tornado. It's given me the opportunity to set things up how I want it. Before it was just like, oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do this, we've got to do this. So now what I want to do, I want to set it up so I can show TAFE students around.
Hell yeah.
I want to do stuff like having terrarium making courses, talks on plants and all that kind of stuff. I want to be, instead of just selling plants, I want to show people how to grow them and like interact with the public.
Yep.
I really want to do that, man. As much as I hate public speaking and all that, I just, talking to someone about plants, I can talk so much shit, bro. Yeah. And it sounds good.
Do you think that there's a possibility in the future to do something on like official level as far as like teaming up with TAFE or teaming up with government bodies to figure out how you can educate, implement something along those lines?
Yeah, so we are actually part of the West Australian nursery industry. And at the Garden Festival last year, we actually won first place for best display, man.
Wow.
So, you know, that thing's been running for that long and like a second year and we won that was...
unreal.
It was huge, man, you know, and just, you got it for just like the way we set up, but mainly just the plants we have. And the thing like, between me and Benjamin and Jada, we have a wicked personality to sell plants, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like, we've had people come like, all I can hear is you guys laughing. Or it's because, you know, it's your passion. Why not enjoy it? Why not show people you love it?
Yeah, for sure.
Don't get me wrong. Like, setting up for it, oh, bro. Like, a couple of months out, setting up marking plants, all that, that's the boring stuff. But selling it and talking to people. And, yeah, people bringing back, like, photos of, like, look at my plant. I got this from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's very cool.
We grew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good example of those 99% preparation, 1% execution scenarios.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're a bloody heartbreak for most of that 99%. But then when you're executing, you're like, this absolutely slaps. I love this.
It is, man. It is. It is. Yeah, I wouldn't, as much as I hate my past, I wouldn't change it because I wouldn't have found this. I wouldn't have got like, you know, suffering from migraines and all that kind of stuff to like, you know, saying like, I got to do something here. I can't work on the mines anymore. Yeah. I got to do something for myself. Like that whole thing you said about being negative and all that. You know, I got migraines, going to lay in bed and all that. Fuck that, man. Yeah. Like, life is short. Life is so short, man. Yeah. And like, you know, 36 now? Bloody hell, bro.
Just, halfway there.
Yeah, man, halfway there.
I think I had a mate go through something that was, I mean, in his perspective, probably the worst thing, one of the worst things he's going to go through in his life. And when I saw him, he was broken. Like after this thing happened, and I didn't realize that. I don't even know how I found out. I think I called him about something else, and he started bloody sounding a bit weird on the phone. I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, actually, this happened and this happened and this happened." I'm like, "Fuck, man, like relax. I'll come see you. This isn't a phone conversation." Yeah. I went there, and dude's broken. You know what I mean? Smells like shit. Hasn't showered for days. Fucking in a bad way. Yeah. Bad way. And you know, I could tell by the way he was telling me what he was telling me is he was trying to escape what he was in. You know, and I'm like, look, dude, I don't know how to get out of what you're in because I can't relate to it. I've never been there. Yeah. Right? But one thing I can tell you is you got to be in it. Because if you try and avoid this thing will follow you and it will be a shadow forever. And this is the thing. When you're winning, win. Yeah. Be a winner. Hold the crown on your head for as long as possible. And then when you're losing, don't try to be a winner. No, that's it. Just lose. Yeah. Lose in the best possible fashion. And grow. Yeah. Yeah. And be in it. Yeah. And I feel like when you know, take insert anything. When you're in the middle of addiction and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, or when you're in the middle of debt, or when you're in the middle of this new problem that you never thought you'd have to deal with in your business or relationship, or, you know, dealing with the fact that you've got aging parents, or that you've got things in your life that you can't control. You got friends moving away that you never pictured you'd have to live without. You know, like when you realize that you're like, I might have to sell the most sentimental things in the world to me to keep this thing afloat. You know what I mean? Like when you're in the middle of that, lean into it.
Yeah.
Lean into it.
Embrace it, man.
Because just like the good times, they're not going to last.
Nah.
You know, this thing just ebbs and flows. And the only real thing that keeps you tethered to any of this is actually leaning into it.
Yeah.
Because the more you lean out of it and try and shift that vibration to where you're meant to be, you just fucking...
You can't run away from your problems, man.
Nah.
It's always going to be in the back of your head, man. And then when you least expect it, it's going to hit you.
Yeah.
And that's when you're going to be like down in the dumps, man. But if you just work with it, deal with it, like I said, man, like when that tornado went through, I was just like, well, there goes that. There goes that. But then the community, and I was like, nah, this is it. Let's do this, man. So like I said, you know, people around you as well.
Yeah.
Like you and Riz and all that kind of stuff, you know. So
yeah, and like that's, I mean, just to elaborate on that a bit, I think like when you've got good friends and you're struggling, like don't be, I don't want to fucking burden with them. Hey man, I hate everything at the moment. Can you come around? Like, dude, fully fucking lean on your friends.
That's it, man.
You know?
I used to be a person where I just bottled it up. Just, you know, because
I
don't want to get other people involved and all. You know, they're going through their own shit, but talking to people, like even with Benjo, he's really good at telling when I'm down and all that stuff, saying me with him. And, you know, he's positive as fuck, that bloke.
He can't help himself.
He can't.
He just pisses positivity out.
No shit, bro. But it's who he is, man. He likes to help people.
Yeah.
He likes to help people, So yeah, man, like, yeah, if you're in the shit, man, keep fighting, bro.
Yeah.
Keep fighting, man.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I remember I was having a fucking real bad day earlier this year, and I called my mate, and he didn't answer, and I had called him earlier that day and the day before about other stuff, and I think this was in the middle of like realizing we're going to buy the printer and move into this new... Maybe we didn't know. It was we'd bought the printer and we didn't have the house or anything.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like in this, you know, high end of the violin section of my life, and I was like, you know, I could feel the sound in my eyes of stress. You know that feeling?
Yeah.
And I like called him the day before, the morning, and then the afternoon, and he answered the first two, and then the last one he didn't answer. I'm like, I was calling him because I was like, breaking point, you know, and I wasn't going to talk about that. I just wanted to talk about anything.
Yep.
Just take me out of this, you know, and you know, didn't answer. I'm like, fuck. I remember where I was, like driving and everything. I fucking pulled over and just lost it. You know, punching the steering wheel, fucking.
That's it.
Balling.
Don't worry, bro.
And oh yeah. If you ain't been there, you ain't shit.
Nah,
by
bro,
the way.
yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, that's exactly
That's
it.
living, you know. That's really living. But I was talking to him a couple of days later. I'm like, oh yeah, and then fucking this happened and that happened, and then I fucking, to be honest, bro, I just wanted to talk to you. You know. He goes, oh, and I didn't answer. I wasn't there for you. And bro, when he said that, I wasn't there for you, I like had to hold back crying in front of this dude, because I'm like, I'm not sad that you weren't there for me. I'm happy that you know that's what I was calling for, and you feel sad that you couldn't help me.
That's it, man.
Because if the roles were reversed, I'd hate myself for missing that call.
Yeah.
And to know that he felt the same way, I'm just like, I'm not on an island. I'm not by myself.
That's respect there, bro. That's a good mate.
It's huge.
That's
it's unreal.
Good mate.
It's fucking unreal. You know, and it's like, to be at a place, like to be a fucking adult and to have someone who cares about you that much, who, as like the crazy thing about friendship is it's people who choose as an adult to want to hang out with you as an adult. No other reason but like, I like hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious, dude? God damn it, thank you, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it, man.
But just having like those words were like, oh, I wasn't there for you when you needed me. It's like, yeah, bro, yeah, dude, that was it. Thank you, I love you, God damn it.
I'm not crying, you are.
Yeah, he started with something like, I gotta go home.
But yeah, it's good to have good mates, man. To have your back, like.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's nothing. That makes life easier as well, man. To have someone that you can talk to. is huge, man. And to understand is just a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's literally the most cliche thing to say until you like live it and experience it. And you're like, yeah, dude, that's the shit, you know? And also coming from a point of view, and not that this is worth bragging about, but like with drugs, like, you know what feeling good is.
Yeah.
You really understand what feeling good is. You understand what feeling bad is.
Yep.
But most people without drugs can understand that as well. You know, you go through a traumatic experience, someone dies, she breaks up with you, fill in the blank, you know what feeling bad is.
That's it.
The feeling of feeling good when a stimulant or narcotic has greatly increased your perception of the positive reality that surrounds you, and then you compare that to like just having a moment at the beach with your mate where you're like laughing about something and you're like, oh, that's like neck and neck.
Yep.
Except one of them, I didn't need to be sniffing something through a straw at 10:30 on a Saturday night.
That's it.
You know? That's when you go like, fuck, man, I'm like, life is actually kind of wild.
That's it, bro.
You know?
And it's funny, like you get some customers who are like, you're my dopamine dealer. It's like, that's hell good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, it's really good to hear that kind of stuff.
It's interesting, you know, the one thing about plants is like, I feel like as humans, we try and create as many straight lines as we can. You know, like this room is a square room. You know, the fucking couch is, you know, it's what we do. You know, the watch, everything is straight lines. Plants aren't straight lines.
No.
Plants are literally like the complete rule breakers of humanity.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta learn what they like, man. And then so all of a sudden you move at one spot, doesn't like that. So lines like this.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. But yeah, I don't know. If I can grow stuff, anyone can grow it, man. Like, you know, it's like I said, man, it's just the passion and all that, man. If you like plants, find the ones that you like.
Yeah, and let them completely consume you.
Yeah, pretty much, bro.
I was just thinking, you know what's funny? You're the last person who I would expect to have a fucking fake tree.
I was going to put a real one in here.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't be watering it. There's enough stuff to water out there.
Yeah, bloody oath. What's your daily routine of watering plants must be insane.
It's crazy, man, because we got retic and all that kind of stuff, but there's nothing better than the hose, man. Like, you can soak the plant and it'll last 2-3 days. While retic, you got to do it every fucking day, man.
Yep. Yeah.
So just that good. So definitely now with the heat waves and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I can't believe it's going to be 36 today.
Yeah, I know, bro.
That's scary.
That's hectic, man.
What also, just because there are going to be people who watch this purely for the cyclone story, your insurance situation.
Yeah, so when Dad got bowel cancer in 2020, COVID,
right?
There's just only going out was just way too much, and I found out that they don't cover hot houses or shade houses. Right. So we've been paying stuff like that for that long, and it just wasn't covering what we needed. And with stock, you need receipts, all this kind of stuff. And because we grow it ourselves, we don't have that kind of stuff. You know, like, you know, what's the point in putting on the shirt? It's like 100 pack of seeds that cost $6. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean. So that kind of stuff, it just wasn't working for us, man. And like, we build everything ourselves.
Yeah,
we build everything ourselves. So it's rebuilding is difficult, but we have the knowledge to do that.
Yeah, and
just wasting money like that, and then finding out that they didn't cover that stuff was just like, why?
Kick in the guts, eh?
It was, man. It was hard, but you know, like insurance and all that these days, you know, there's so many fine lines, so many fine lines to go through. So we just thought, get rid of it, you know, help Dad get through bowel cancer and all that kind of stuff, and then we just never.
Yeah, keep your public liability and all that.
I got all that, yeah, public workers' comp. We got all that kind of stuff, but when it come to structures and all that, it was, you know, it wasn't really worth it, man.
You know, obviously, I don't know whether it was from the late 80s or 90s or whatever, like the whole idea of superannuation. The idea is that, you know, you put away a percentage of your pay every week so that when you can't work anymore, you got this money sitting there. And then you find out that superannuation is actually privatized companies who take that money and then bet it on the stock market.
Yep.
So hopefully you should have a bit more money, right? Ideally, it's a fucking great idea. And then you go, okay, well, I'm a fucking fully functioning, thinking adult, right? And what I'm going to do is bet on my ability, my future earning potential, and not pay myself super and try and make as much fucking money as I can right now, and then build a system that has a passive income.
Yep.
And then rely on that when I get older. And it's funny when you say that to literally 99% of people. Now, I pay myself super and all the rest because legally you have to, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I'm fully betting that by the time I stop working, whether it's in 5 years or 25 years or whenever it happens, my superannuation isn't going to be shit, right? It's not going to be shit. But the wealth that I will have generated between now and then will definitely cover any bases that my super doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? And even like, I understand that may even be people sitting back, listening or watching this going like, oh, it's a bit confident. Like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm a winner.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
Positivity,
I'm planning to win.
That's it.
You know? And your insurance is one of those things where it's like, all right, we can, and I was thinking this as you were saying it, we can pay for insurance or we can invest in our own insurance, which is having the community. When you put up the post the day of you're like, everything's wrecked. Now, I was part of this band of people that came. Dozens of people rocked up, boots on, gloves on, and got to work.
That's it. And I got to thank Benjamin for that because he's the one that did that, man. I'm too much of a proud person to ask
for help,
man, which is, you know, I don't know, it's stupid or whatever it is, man, but I just did not realize the following we had. And it was crazy, man. Like, the amount of people here.
Huge.
Unbelievable, bro. Like, I was that overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, man. But, yeah, man. Community. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure. For sure. I think one thing in business as well you got to really take into account is that your, what do you call it, ability to recognize skills as skills and not as these innate abilities within yourself. You know, like I had people say like, oh, you're really good at talking on camera. It's like, yeah, you don't want to see the first 100 hours I did in front of a camera.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I built a skill. You know, if you want your muscle to grow, what do? You lift weights.
That's it.
You don't just one day wake up and be like, oh, I'm fucking huge. It's like, no, dude, you went to the gym every day for 10 years.
That's it.
You know?
It, yeah.
And it's like skills are exactly the same. And I think in that position, you went from being a horticulturalist, a nursery owner, whatever you...
I'm not even a horticulturalist, bro.
Well, whatever that label is, you had to go from being that man to like a manager. You had to manage all these, like, okay, here's the projects, here's how the people fit into those projects. We've only got them for a certain amount of time. You know, the community spirit runs out at about 9 hours.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of every day, and I've probably only got them for 5 days. How do I deal with this?
Yeah.
You know, mum was on the spring rolls, you're on the bloody run around like a blue ass fly. Yeah. You know, it's a weird situation.
It is.
You know, but you really have to, like, in that moment, go like, right, we step up to the plate, or we come in here and turn the aircon on and tell everyone to piss off.
And just cry. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, it's very, well, I mean, we're now July, 5 months post. What's your report? How do you feel like you've progressed from there?
Oh, good, bro. Good, man. There's a lot more things that I would have liked to done, but I just had to keep the business going, do landscaping.
Yep.
Like I said, man, like build instruction, that doesn't bring money in. Landscaping, garden maintenance, that's what brings money, selling plants. So as much as I would like to spend here and work on this place, it's just, yeah, just got to do other things. And that's probably a good thing because it shows me my strengths in doing lots of different things instead of one thing. And that's probably a good thing with, like, you know, undiagnosed ADHD. I'll start this over here, something. But at the end, it all comes together.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's chaos, but it comes together.
Dude, it's a superpower. It is a superpower.
That's it, man.
To be fighting the fire from the middle of the fire is a fucking skill, you know?
That's it, bro. That's exactly it.
I was having this conversation with another, I would call quite successful business owner yesterday, and she was telling me, because you ADHD or ADD, I'm like, I don't know, and I don't want to know. Because if I am, who cares?
Yeah.
If I am, it is genuinely a fucking superpower.
Yeah.
Like I can, and like the podcast is a perfect analogy because we can talk about 40 different things, and by the end of the podcast, it all loops back around, and it's all a nice, neat little package.
That's
you know?
it.
And it's like that, for me, is like a perfect metaphor for business because you know as well as I do, you're fighting 40 fires at once. And it's just kind of like you're not even trying to put them out. You're just trying to manage them.
Yeah.
You know?
Keep it contained.
Yeah. And you're like, well, I don't want to put the fire out because that'd be boring.
Yeah, that's it. Let's let it burn for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
While we watch these other ones.
Yeah. So that looks like it's going to fucking... It is. But yeah, I'll tell you what came to mind just then is I wonder if taking advantage of like local and state grants would be something that you could do.
That's something I want to look into because like I said, I want to do more for the community and TAFE and all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to walk them through, show them what we do here. Because, like, look, man, nothing against natives. I just like them from other countries. There's so many cool plants out there, bro, that attract birds, all this kind of stuff, you know, that are water-wise. Like, if you want a native garden to look good, it needs water.
Yeah.
There's nothing more water-wise than cactus and succulents.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even like succulents for fire breaks and all that, you know, all that kind of, because they're liquid. They're all liquid. They're not like natives and combust and burn everything else, man.
I didn't think
like,
of that. Yeah,
man.
They're like little water jugs.
That's it, bro, you know, and they don't catch on fire. They just like boil.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I mean, man. There's heaps of cool plants out there.
Yeah.
So many cool plants.
Yeah, I think we get a bit strangled with our exposure to plants because you go to Bunnings and you see the same 150 plants they have on offer.
That's it.
It's like unless you want to plant a vegetable garden, it's not really that,
yeah,
you know, enthralling to go and go, oh, I'm going to get excited. I'm going to get motivated about plants, you know? And I feel like every time I come here, I'm like, why don't I have more plants?
Yeah.
You know, like, well, I should have more plants, you know?
That's it, man. That's it.
And also, I feel like I'm promoting you like inorganically here, but I genuinely feel this. Your prices are very, very reasonable.
Yeah. Like I said, man, we grow it all ourselves.
Yeah.
We grow it all ourselves, and we have the range, and you know, like the $3 stuff to some cactus that are like, you know, what, 40 years old for, you know, like $400, but it's 40 years old, man.
Yeah.
Like, far out, bro. Like I said, you're paying for time.
Yeah.
And time is short.
So crazy to think that you're also like, you're buying a part of that plant's life.
Yeah.
You know, because you haven't had it for 40 years.
No, that's it, man.
You got it. And probably the person who's getting it, you know, God willing keeps it alive, is going to have it for their life, best case scenario, and then someone else's then.
That's what I mean, man. They're like, these things go on. And that's why, like you're talking about super and all that kind of stuff, having this money behind you.
Yeah.
I grow a lot of this stuff like structural plants, man. Because put it this way, everyone's going to be into plants, man. The world is literally crumbling in front of us, and people want to feel like they're doing their part.
Yeah.
For some of these trees here, man, you know, like all the aloe trees that you just do not see around, $2,000-3,000, all this kind of stuff, and it just sits and got a little bit of water on it, and it grows, man.
Yep.
Like, man, the amount of money that we would have in plants in the garden and in our hothouses would
be astronomical,
it'd
really.
be huge, bro. It would be huge. So that's something I look back on as a fallback as well, because, like I said, they'd use our money in shares. And the shares go shit, bro. We lose that stuff. You know, it's not really your money. Anything can happen, bro.
Yeah.
And while this here, you know, tornado come through, but if anything snaps a few branches off and the tree's like, ha, let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah, also those plants are probably old enough that they've seen a tornado before.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Do you think, we'll get a airy-fairy question in here, do you think that you ever actually own the plant?
I think looking after it and growing it from seed, it is kind of like a part of you, bro. And yeah, back to passion, man. Like, I feel like that is something that we created. That is life there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do, man. I do.
Because I think, I just like during this conversation, I've kind of been going like, you know, we kid ourselves that we are the owners of these plants because we trade money for them, and I take it to my home and I put it there and then I watch it. And then the plant relies on me to water it and this and that. And it's like, something about it, I don't know. Because if you start defending that it's actually not your possession, that because it is life, you You know, it's kind of like, all right, well, is a dog your possession? The dog relies on you, but still it's its own entity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And like we know now, the more scientifically knowledgeable we get, it's like plants will literally will change their taste and scent and all that based on their environment and predators and all these things. And it's like, oh man, I'm actually just kind of
There's so much we don't know, bro. There's so much we don't know.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting. I kind of like, I think about this house we moved into is absolutely beautiful. Like the garden is, I'd make this joke all the time. Like it's too nice for me. You know, like I feel I have an obligation to keep this garden like really well maintained. Yeah. And if it's not for the plant's sake, it's actually for the bloke who built the house.
Yeah. Because
I'm like, this dude really gave a fuck the entire time. And I feel like in a way, well, he's passed away now, I feel like he's watching me.
Yeah.
You know? Like he's going like, brother, this is kind of, it's touching the fence. Can we do something about that? You know, like they're getting a bit, maybe you should cut that. Hey, can we cut the grass? It's time. You know what I mean? All these things. Like, do we need to check the reticle? And it's like almost this obligation to the plant. Like while I paid for this plant and I took it home and did all this, it's like, the plant needs you as much as you need the plant.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise you wouldn't have bought it.
That's it, man.
You know, did the plant speak to you before you even... We don't know.
No.
Dude, the fucking government came out the other day and said that UFOs are real.
Yeah. But that's... Bro, to look up there and think like we're the only ones here...
No, they come from the ocean. Have you heard this?
No.
There are 4 documented, have known forever UFOs that exist in the fucking ocean, and they come out... We have evidence, proof, communication, everything. Like one of them is a fucking orb. One of them's 300 to 400 meters wide at any one time. One of them shaped like an arrowhead.
I love this
One of them is shaped like a jellyfish and comes down. Bro, like 100% US government in Congress, like admitting it, talking about it. Here's what we know.
Look how big the ocean is, man.
Dude, why is no one talking about this?
I don't know, bro.
Like your whole life, it's like, oh man, are they real? What are those 5? Oh, that's Starlink. You know what I mean? Like all these conversations. Now there's officials saying like, oh yeah, no, we're in contact with them. What?
Just all calm and collective. Yeah, we've known about it for years.
Oh, cool. So the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight wasn't a cover up. What the fuck is going on?
No shit, bro.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that just absolutely melts me.
It does. Yeah, that's crazy. No, I'm gonna have to look into that. But it would not fucking surprise me, bro.
Bro, you know what's crazy? So I read the Bible every day. I was touching on Sodom and Gomorrah, not yesterday, day before, right?
Yeah.
This is a day after I've learnt about the fucking aliens. So do you know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah?
Nah.
All right, so you've got, I keep blanking on his name. Anyway, he's the like essentially the stepson of Abraham, I think it was. He lives in Sodom, right? These 2 angels come to the gates, the front gates of Sodom, which is where he, what's his name? I forget his name. Anyway, it's his job to stand at the gates, right? Now, he's fairly well off in Sodom. And
yeah.
You understand Sodom's like full of homosexuals and sinners and this and that. Anyway, he's at the gates. The angels come. Now, the angels are referred to as aliens in the Bible, right? And this is a New Age study Bible, so it might not be a direct translation, but also the old Bible has been translated thousands of times through hundreds of different languages, so who cares? So it basically says these 2 angels are considered as aliens because they're from somewhere else, right? So not necessarily because they're from outer space, but because they're from somewhere else, right? They come in and they say, look, we need your family, we need to get the fuck out of here because God's going to liquefy this shit, right? All you sinners have been going too long, and we know that you are son of Abraham, so we need to get you out here. I'm pretty sure it is because Abraham's missus couldn't conceive, so then she gave his mistress to him so that he could conceive because God said you were going to have a son. Right? I'm pretty sure it was his son. I'm pretty sure, right? So because you're Abraham's son, we want to get you out of here, or of Abraham's blood. So he goes, look, I don't think so. Maybe okay, I'll go, right? Then all of the town comes to Abraham's tent, essentially, where the angels are inside of and they're having this conversation. They're banging on the door and saying, brother, give us these fucking aliens. Give us these angels. And he's saying, no. Look, you can't have these 2. I'm protecting them. I'll tell you what, you can have my 2 virgin daughters. Right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't want your virgin daughters. We want the angels. We want to fuck them. Right? I might be stretching the story a bit here. But they weren't interested in these virgin daughters, right? Which, to begin with, giving up your virgin daughters instead of visitors seems bizarre. Yeah. The Bible is full of crazy
That's
stories.
What I mean, yeah.
So then the angels are like, all good, brother, we got this. And everyone outside of that tent turns blind. So they can't find the door. They can't find it. They don't know where they are, right? The angels go, now get your shit and let's go because we're going to burn this shit down, okay? It's going to rain sulfur down on these cities, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, cool. Just turned thousands of people blind. I trust you. Let's go. Gets his missus, gets his daughters, gets the fuck out of there, right? As they're running away, sulfur rains down from the heavens, destroys Sodom and Gomorrah. Cool. His missus turns and looks back, and as she looks back, she turns into a pillar of salt, right? Yeah. Destroyed. Turns into a pillar of salt, crumbles to the ground. They keep running, right? Now, it then goes on to those two daughters end up getting him drunk and sleeping with him and conceiving children. Story of incest. Told you our story. Bible's full of fucking hectic stories, right? This is like literally 2 chapters. Yeah. Right at the start, you're like, whoa.
What have I got myself into?
Story must get wild, you know? But from the get-go, like we're not even talking about Jesus turning water into wine. We're not talking about resurrecting the dead. We're not talking about, performing miracles and washing nothing. We're talking about turning angels, turning people blind. We're talking about looking back at something and turn into a pillar of salt. We're talking about sulfur fire coming from the sky and destroying a city. Brother, the Bible is a story about aliens. Jesus was an alien. He was born of a Virgin Mary. Right?
Yeah, bro.
Like, man, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, that's what I mean. Like history and all. There's so much that we cover up, bro. Like, look how old the earth is, man. Like,
even that question.
Just look at that stuff, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, your minerals, millions of years old, crystals and all that kind of stuff.
They're not rocks.
Yeah.
They're minerals. Yeah. But, man, I went on a little fucking tangent, and I'll tell you because I think this is really bizarre, right? So, are you familiar with the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
No.
All right. Basic shit is find something that's important to you, important enough that you'll change your life for it. I mean, the whole concept is think and grow rich, right? Yeah. But that's just essentially like a framework of like, right, pretty much if you want to get your life to get better, get more money, you have more opportunities, right? Getting rich is like the idea of getting wealthy, right? We spoke before about like I consider myself wealthy in that I have love, opportunities, abundance, opulence, harmony.
Yeah.
Right? I have things that matter, right? Money matters. That shit really matters, right? So it's basically what we're going to do is we're going to find something that's really important. We're going to put that thing that's really important into writing, basically, and then we're going to rehearse that writing when we wake up and when we go to sleep. Essentially prayer.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to take a special moment. We're going to enter into prayer. We're going to tell the universe what we want. And we're going to open our eyes to receive it when it eventually comes here, right? And The Secret by Rhonda Byrne kind of touches on this in a similar fashion, right? We're then going to use our imagination to picture it in our mind, right? Visualization, right? We're manifesting through the image of our mind, right? So somewhere between here, we then go, okay, there is us, and then there is like the infinite intelligence, the creator, the God in the sky, the greater power than us, right? And what we're doing is aligning our radio transmitter to the frequency of what we want and connecting it through imagination so that we can then figure out the steps between us and where we want to be.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds like magic. Okay? That sounds like fucking magic. Because I was a truck driver 4 years ago, and now I live in a beautiful house with the woman that I'm so excited to marry. Just had my balls put back together through a vasectomy reversal so that we can have children. Right? I never wanted to get married. I never wanted to have children. I thought I was just an average dude. It turns out I might be the fucking chosen one for a brilliant life. That's it. Right? It's like abundance chose me, not the other way around. Yep. That's how powerful this shit is. And I'm not saying that that is the truth, what I just said. What I'm saying is that I feel so powerful that that might be my truth.
Yeah. But it's true, man. Like, thinking is huge. Like, if you think you're going to do something, keep thinking it, repeating and all that kind of, you'll make it, man.
Right?
You'll make it, because dedication. But like if you're sitting there like, oh, I'm not going to do this, you just backtrack. Backtrack.
This is where we started.
Yeah.
Exactly where we started. Like, if you're the person, woe is me, my life sucks, this is hard, I don't like it, you're telling the universe exactly what you want.
Exactly,
The universe will give you that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I'm a strong believer, man. Your mind is powerful, bro. You can convince yourself of fucking anything. It's, yeah.
100%.
No one else can get in there apart from your fucking self.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And that's like the one thing that you do have control over.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the information highway that is emotions, that's dictated by your surroundings, what you eat, how much fucking microplastics find its way into your your brain, things that happen to you, like all of those things are kind of like cars going past on the road. The only thing you really have control over is your reaction to them and your proactive measures to move forward with.
Exactly, bro.
Like what? So to just rewind for a second, turned and blind, pillar of salt, imagination, motivation, frequency, like all of this seems like this whole experience is actually got so much more to it than just waking up, procreating, and going to sleep.
Yeah.
It's so much more than keeping the species alive. It's like we're in the middle of this crazy program that self-replicates itself in a better way every like generation or every year or every moment. I don't know. But it's like, how can you after you make that realization, how can you live a normal life anymore? You know, because if you can have anything you want, then you start asking like, what do I want?
Yeah.
You know?
That's it, man.
What's important? What matters?
Yo.
Good God, I got to go home and have a nap after that, bro. I'm fucking...
It was deep.
That was deep. We took a while to get cooking, but we got cooking, you know? So, people want to find you. Where can they find you?
So, we're on Facebook. Yeah, just check it out. Owys Gardens, OWYSGARDEN. We've got a website, but we are literally Glen, so near the farmers market. So, Moorlands Ave. Can't miss it. You can't miss the sign that Dad's put out on the road there. You know, it's a massive
the big
earth moving
sculpture
truck rim, yeah, with all like, you know, fire hydrants cut out with leaves and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, you know, we're just down there. Best way to check out our content and what we got in is Facebook.
Yeah,
I'm
going to put all the links in the description of all the like on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube.
Beautiful.
Blah blah.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I would highly recommend, especially if you're listening to this before Christmas, come get your Christmas gifts here. This year, get your Christmas gifts from fucking local businesses who create what they sell.
That's it, man.
You know, like give them something that's actually got love behind it.
That's it. And like we rely on the public, man. Like you guys are what keep us going. So,
and also tell me right before we wrap up a little bit about your landscaping service. So, what do you actually offer?
So, we do stuff differently. We make interactive gardens. So we do things where you can wander around, enjoy the whole thing, different views and all that. But we do tropicals, dry riverbeds, cactus gardens, you know, cool little seating areas and all that kind of stuff. We do different stuff, not generic lawn and a garden bed.
Yeah.
We like to make it fun.
So what sort of like, you know, Joe Bloggs comes along, he wants to spend, do you have like a sort of minimum spend that it takes to get you out there, or do you just do things from, like, give me like a price range that people are tending to spend on this landscaping service?
So it all depends, man. Like, so we do small things from like, you know, $1,500 to big stuff up to a couple of years ago, did 25 grand, man.
Huge.
On a thing, but you know, that's a huge area.
Yeah.
Lawn, all that stuff. Building contours, just, yeah, we do some pretty cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
Do some pretty cool stuff.
Unreal.
Definitely different.
Yeah.
Different, eye-catching.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely with all these plants, aloes, succulents, cactus.
Hell yeah.
You know, very structural plants.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Get on down to Owys Garden. Say hello to Dave, Benjo, the crew. Get yourself some locally grown plants. Have fun. Be good to your mum because we're fucking out.
That's it. 6230. Cheers, brother.